In 2006, the Dallas Mavericks met up against the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. After dropping to an 0-2 hole, the Miami Heat won the next 4 games, becoming just the 3rd team to win a championship after losing the first 2 games of the series. It was also the first Finals appearance and the first championship for the Heat franchise. However, none of those things are what made the 2006 Finals memorable. What made this series memorable is that it was one of the most rigged series ever. There are 2 main pieces of evidence that point to the 2006 Finals being rigged. The most popular piece of evidence is the number of free throws Dwyane Wade shot in the series. We're going to talk about that, but first, we're going to look at a piece of evidence that often gets overlooked: the Jerry Stackhouse suspension. At 31 years old, Jerry Stackhouse was still a key player for the Mavericks off the bench. In Game 4 of the series, Stackhouse was assessed a flagrant foul on Shaquille O'Neal. Now, this was a foul and a flagrant foul, but when you look at the replay, it's hard to call this any more than a flagrant 1 foul, which is what the refs called. But once the league office got a hold of it, they upgraded the foul to a flagrant 2 and a suspension. Now, no one thought this was even a flagrant 2 foul, much less a foul deserving of a suspension. This is unreasonable at best and shady and questionable at worst. However, that was nothing compared to what was coming. Which brings us to the most popular piece of evidence: Dwyane Wade got all the calls. Now, it's not like the entire series was awful. After going down 0-2 and being on the verge of being down 0-3, the Heat made a pretty incredible comeback in Game 3, led by Dwyane Wade, who made some clutch plays. There were some questionable calls during that comeback, but it happens, and it wasn't too bad. The Mavericks responded pretty well to the Heat's run and even had a chance to tie the game with 3 seconds left, but Dirk Nowitzki missed a crucial free throw. In Game 4, the Mavs got blown out and Stackhouse committed the foul that got him suspended. Things are about to get ugly. Game 5 was a pivotal game. The series was tied at 2 games apiece. The Miami Heat were at home and ready to take an improbable series lead. The Mavericks were ready to reassert their will against a team they at one time had a 2-game series lead on. And NBA fans were ready for a huge matchup. What no one was ready for was how many free throws Dwyane Wade shot. Wade shot 25 free throws in Game 5, 15 in the second half alone. The Mavericks as a team shot 25 free throws, while the Heat shot 49 free throws. As one Mavericks player said, you couldn't be around that guy and them not call a foul. Other NBA personalities like Tracy McGrady and Phil Jackson commented on how effortlessly Wade got fouls called for himself. Now, some fans have attributed the free throw disparity to the idea that Miami was aggressively getting inside the paint while the Mavericks were a mostly jump shooting team. However, when you look at the team shot charts, there's not a lot of difference in where the shots were taken. In all, the Mavericks shot 19 3-pointers and 62 2-pointers, while the Heat shot 17 3-pointers and 52 2-pointers. The game went into overtime, where Dirk hit a clutch shot with 9 seconds left to give the Mavericks a 1-point lead. The Heat inbounded the ball to Dwyane Wade. Now, there's a bit of controversy over whether or not Wade committed a backcourt violation when he caught the ball, but since he was in the air when he caught it, landing behind the half-court line was legal, so that controversy is invalid. However, during this play is when the infamous phantom foul occurred. Dirk Nowitzki was called for a shooting foul on Dwyane Wade when there simply was no contact. Speaking of free throws, it's interesting to see how Wade's attempts suddenly increased dramatically in the finals. Through the first 3 playoff series, Dwyane Wade averaged 51 free throw attempts per series. For context, Dirk Nowitzki averaged 58 free throw attempts per series. In the finals, Wade had a total of 97 attempts for the series. That's a 90% increase. Dirk, on the other hand, had a total of 55 attempts for the finals. But let's go back to Game 5 and Dwyane Wade shooting free throws. With 1.9 seconds left, the Mavericks had one timeout. Obviously, they plan to take this timeout after Wade shoots his free throws so they can advance the ball. Josh Howard turned to head coach Avery Johnson to confirm this. Seeing this, the referees inexplicably gave Dallas a timeout, even though Avery Johnson was clearly telling them he did not want one. Again, this is poor officiating at best and shady and questionable at worst. By the way, 82games.com did a full report on this game after it happened, including how each questionable call affected the final score. It's a good read. So Wade hits his free throws, the Mavs have 2 seconds to go the full length of the court, Game 5 is over. A highlight reel of the 6th and final game of the series would pretty much just be Dwyane Wade shooting free throws. He shot 21 free throws in this game. The Heat shot a total of 37 free throws, while the Mavericks shot 23. Again, this cannot be attributed to the Heat being the only aggressive team. The Heat had 60 two-point attempts and 18 three-point attempts, while the Mavericks had 70 two-point attempts and 22 three-point attempts. The shot charts do not indicate that the Heat only took inside shots. As the final nail in the coffin, the referees missed one last crucial call. With 9.1 seconds left, the Mavericks were down 3 with possession of the ball. Gary Payton literally grabbed Jason Terry's jersey, which should have been a foul. Pat Riley and even Gary Payton himself admitted to fouling him. But no foul, no free throws, the game and the series are over. In all, the Heat shot 207 free throws in the series, an average of 34.5 per game, while the Mavericks shot 155 free throws, an average of 25.8 per game. Since 2000, only 2 other teams have shot over 190 free throws in the finals. The average number of free throws attempted for a team in the finals since 2000 is 141.9. The Heat shot 45% more free throws than all of the other 34 finals teams' average since 2000. When you consider the facts, it's hard to say that the Heat deserved this championship. Despite shooting 52 more free throws in the series, despite all the bad calls and the questionable decisions by the refs and the league, the Heat scored only 1 point more than the Mavericks for the series. Imagine what it would have been like if the games were called fairly.